Hey everybody, I'm Aaron Cohen. I'm the co-creator and writer of Schticks Stones Holiday Special. And on this podcast today, we're going to go over the book and everything you wanted to know about Jewish holidays, but we're afraid to ask.
I'm Alex Schumacher, co-creator and artist of Sticks and Stones. Everything that Aaron just said, plus you're on splash pages with us.
Is the one obvious thing.
What's wrong with him?
His girl just broke it off.
It's her father. He doesn't want her dating a zombie.
Why? What are they, demons?
She is predeceased.
An outsider?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're asking for trouble.
She broke my heart.
You're a zombie. Technically, you don't even have a heart.
After all of the great cinema that we brought to the world, and we still get no respect.
I don't know why he doesn't like me. I'm responsible for a full-time job.
You work at a haunted house in October.
I'm trying to be healthy. She's a vegan, so...
Wait, you're giving up meat?
Oh, come on.
What are you gonna do? Attack a farmer's market to try to impress her?
Now, if he was a vampire, he'd have a much better chance with the dead.
Yeah, those pretty bastards.
I didn't think this would be that hard.
Hard? Man, I'm a zombie and I'm black.
Oh, here we go.
I blame the educational system.
I blame the media.
I blame George Romero.
Oh. How could you be so disrespectful?
Coffee?
Zombies don't know much, but they do know good coffee, Deadly Grounds. It's coffee to die for, and zombie approved.
Who's George Romero?
Just have some coffee.
Hey, happy Saturday, everybody. You're watching Splash Pages. My name's Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. And here at Splash Pages, we're bringing you real comic book conversations, no Hollywood hype. And Carrie, we have some very special guests tonight, don't we?
Yes, we do, Leo Pond. Tonight, we are celebrating Brad Tosker and I with some Maker's Mark. Here's a little hint for you guys for something that might be coming up later this month. Drinking out of my Cullen Bun glass. But first off, I'm going to introduce who we have tonight. We have a dynamic duo. Our first guest tonight is an award-winning filmmaker and writer whose comics have been included in the Space, Galaxy, and Alien Meatballs anthology, Scott Snyder's The Cloakroom, First Dates anthology, The End Times, and he has 4 more anthologies coming up this year, which are yet to be announced. And our second guest is an award-winning cartoonist and writer whose titles include The Effects of Pickled Herring, awesome, which was named one of the year's Best Graphic Novels for Children by the American Library Association in 2024, Flash Gordon Adventures Volume 2, and Punk Taco Adventures from Papercutz, as well as joining his co-creator here in Scott Snyder Presents the Cloakroom, and his very not safe for children, Mr. Butterchips webcomic. Everybody, please welcome Aaron Cohen and Alex Schumacher.
Woohoo!
Hey,
Howdy.
thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Yay! Woo!
A little late with that, Carrie. A little late.
I didn't have the button in the right spot.
You know, it felt right. It was fine.
But yeah, the timing was right on.
It's all vibes.
We didn't cover it before the warm up there, but where are you guys hailing from tonight?
We're in Portland.
We're both in Oregon, yeah. So we're both
Nice.
in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
I'm in Nebraska, where it's humid. As I was telling Aaron pre-show, I'm doing my best Bellatrix meets librarian kind of vibe here. That's what we got going.
I think it doesn't matter where Jews are. It kind of always looks like we're in humidity.
And 50% of the time they'd be right.
Yeah.
Depending on where, yeah.
Very true.
I'm over on the other side. I'm over on the East Coast, over in Connecticut.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's where I'm from originally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look at us, Connecticut bros.
Yeah. What part of Connecticut?
Outside of the Danbury area. You know where that is? Where are you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. My sister-in-law lives down that way.
Okay, where are you at in Connecticut?
I'm over in Mystic, or close to Mystic.
Okay, yeah. When I'm out on the East Coast, we're over there all the time. So I guess a coffee is in our future.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Let me know when.
Funny enough, I am also knowing somebody from Connecticut.
Well,
And
that's the Kevin Baconness of it all.
yeah, totally.
and if you guys happen to make it to Terrificon this year, I don't know if you have any are going to be there or plan on going or anything. We all will invite you over, and you can eat with us over at Leo's house. The whole crew goes to that show. We all meet up, and then he lives like 5 minutes from the Mohegan Sun Casino. So we all.
I was actually considering heading out for it this year. So I might be, yeah, because I've never. That's a con I've never been to, but it's kind of like my home con, right? Being from the East Coast, and so I really would love to check it out.
Yeah, it's an amazing con, and it's grown over the years. It's absolutely huge. Have you been to Mohegan Sun?
Yeah.
Okay,
but not for like a convention, just for like the Mohegan Sunness of it all.
Okay. Okay, so you probably haven't seen the convention center, obviously. But yeah, he had to actually move to the larger convention hall. And actually last year, the fire marshal had to actually shut it down. Not shut it down, but like stop people from coming in because it was like overcrowded.
That's because Comic-Cons know how to party. Fire marshal.
Well, it's also great because it's more of an old school con. It's more comic book based. He focuses more on like the comic book creators, rather than bringing in like big Hollywood. But he did have
there's some Hollywood, but
I don't know how far back everybody dates, but I mean I remember going to cons in New York that were in like random hotels, that are on random floors of hotels, and it was just comics and tchotchkes, and you could walk right up to tables and at that point buy an original art page for like $150 that you could probably now auction for like $1 million. And it's like it's crazy, but those were incredible. Those very small sort of shows.
There used to be seas of long boxes as far as the eye can see, and now you kind of have to go on a bit of a scavenger hunt for them.
Yeah, before all the Golden Age comics, Silver Age comics were sealed in plastic.
Yeah.
Wow. My first Comic Con was my first Comic Con. Yeah, not my first con, but was terrific con. I went and got to meet all my guys here. Well, him and the other folks that are around. But then I started coming to more local cons and stuff in my area. But Nebraska. I mean, like one of our cons usually has like 10 people. total,
Yeah.
so it's like, oh boy, I got there. I'm done in half an hour. It was great.
You walk around and
Yeah, walk around like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'll buy it. Hey, you want to sign? I had somebody sign something that they totally weren't in. I was in this Grand Island Con, and somebody had their like protege guarding their booth for them, and they had artwork from everybody who was at the con in this little book thing that you could get. So I bought the book, when I was walking around getting everybody to sign it. He's like, I'm not actually in there, but can I sign it? And I'm like, just give me a little doodle, on the cover page and sign it. So
it's official. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I signed it. It's the first thing I've gotten to sign. I'm like,
I'm even more than Terrificon because I know I'll have friends to hang out with. So yeah, I'll see if I can make it happen. That'd be great.
Awesome. Yeah, we'd love to see you there.
Yeah, we just did Emerald City Comic Con, Alex and I, which was a great con too. Yeah.
Okay, because I've had half the people I've talked to who went to Emerald City were like, people went broke there. They weren't making their money back. It was just terrible. And other people were like, I had a great time. We had a lot of people swinging by. It was great. So,
I mean, I think it's just the pendulum swung kind of widely depending on who you were talking to. Really, honestly, I know that sounds like kind of a non-answer, but I think that was the truth at that convention. And it wasn't even necessarily people, like names like you would think. It was just people were locking on to whatever they liked, and so some people were having fantastic weekends, and I think other people might have suffered a little because of that. But for our purposes, like we were there to kind of chat with people and network a little. So for that, like it's still a pretty great trade show. So we had a good time doing that.
Yeah, we were walking the floor, so we didn't have a whole lot of skin in the game on the tabling part. But we were able to meet and chat with a bunch of people that we knew, and that was fantastic. And but yeah, it wasn't for lack of crowd because they had a pretty good turnout from what I could see.
Okay. Yeah. We're talking about cons. We're talking about networking. See, here's the thing that you guys might not know. I am the crowdfunding expert of this network, and we do Carrie's crowdfunding corner, but you guys are elevated beyond the corner. You get your own episode of Splash Pages, because we love your comic. It's amazing. And we love the other work that you've done too, but let's hint a little bit and let's go about doing some stuff with the Kickstarter. Lee, if you can get it ready to prop up. But first of all, I do want to say I had to ask, Alexa made fun of me because I was like, how do you pronounce, I was like, what does this word mean? And Alexa's like, can you just spell that? I do. And they're like, oh, nice. That's Yiddish for this. And I'm like, I got that so wrong. It was just like, yep, I don't.
I love everything about asking Alexa Yiddish, which I've never even considered. And I think that's I think everything about that's great.
But like, that's not necessarily a bad thing because, like, Aaron's been saying this on podcast too, where it's, if any of this makes you, research or like learn something new or be interested or fascinated by something, those are all good things. So like, the fact that you have to look something up isn't bad at all. It's something that we're glad came out of this.
100%. Curiosity is a positive. Yeah.
Well, it's weird though. Once it figured out what I was, the repetition of what I was going through, it started I didn't have to keep spelling. It was just like, oh, you're trying really hard. I'm going to work this out. But like, it's like, you're a goy, aren't you? Okay. That's what's going on.
It gave you golf. It gave you a hard time, which is really what family is all about.
Alexa starts slowly adopting the persona of like a hardcore East Coast Jew and just
We've had Howard Chaykin on the show. I mean, he's West Coast now, but he's originally East Coast. Yeah. That was
my first wife was Jewish, and her mother was New Yorker to the core, and I've heard a lot of the words. I don't know what a lot of them mean, but I remember one time. Actually, sorry, stupid story, but
tell your story, Leo.
We were traveling through New York, and like she's going all over the place. Like she knows the place like the back of her hand. And I remember like my first time really walking through New York, and we're going on the subway, and she's like scramming. She's already on the train. with her daughter, and my coin or whatever it was didn't work, and it was the only one I had, so I couldn't get through. And I'm about to see them like buzz off. Yeah, luckily they realized at the last second that I wasn't with them, but I almost got like lost in New York for yeah. And this was before cell phones, so
Yeah, you were 5 minutes from our after school special.
yeah, exactly.
It's no good.
But
in a windowless van.
I need to go, and I'm going to get my copy. I'm trying to figure out. I'm going to ask you guys after the show, or maybe you can tell us now how to get a good solid copy, or where the best place that profits you the most is to get a full version of the Effects of Pickled Herring, because I was reading that, and I don't know where the pickled herring comes in yet, because you gave us a preview and it was great. But like, my family's obsessed with pickled herring. We're Swedish. And it's like every holiday you eat pickled herring,
Right.
and it's ridiculously expensive, and everybody hates it except for us.
Yeah,
you know.
And the joke with like Jewish kids is, a lot of our relatives are from sort of like Eastern Europe and that area where that kind of fermented food was very popular as well. So for Jewish kids sort of growing up in our generation, I think it was more of like a joke food. But in the book, I'll just read this because this isn't a spoiler. But something's a little off with grandma, and so they kind of blame that on the pickled herring that she eats. So that's where the title comes from, because everybody says, it's barely in the book, but it has a significant role. So that's where it comes from.
Okay, we fight over it like tigers in my family. Like,
I would step aside on that fight.
Yeah, my sister went vegetarian for a while, but like at Christmas, she was like, I can still eat the onions. They're technically vegetables.
Yeah,
see, if you're getting into herring, I grew up on the creamed herring instead of the.
There you go. Yeah.
So I grew up on that, which is a shorter lifespan, I think. But
for the people eating it, or you mean the product itself?
the product itself.
Oh, right.
Eating it, the jury's still out on me.
Maybe both.
That is exactly what I see happening just this second.
Yeah.
So Schticks Stones, you guys funded on the first day, you said. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah, it was very
seriously. I don't know if we said anything for a while. We were all just maybe in a state of shock for a bit, but yeah.
It was a lot of texting emojis.
It was.
Now,
the only thing that could properly convey how we felt in those moments were emojis.
Squee was that one of the I squee. I'm a girl. We get to do that. We're allowed.
There you go.
So,
I could once in a while, in the privacy of my own home, maybe let it squee out.
Yeah,
maybe let it squee. Just a little one.
Yeah.
So for the people watching, we got a bunch of people watching right now. So would you like to explain Schticks Stones?
Sure. We can tag team it. I'll do top half, and then I'll kid and play it right over to Alex. So I think so Schticks and Stones is a holiday special, is a comic that goes over 3 Jewish holidays with one crazy family going through all the holidays together. Each holiday is a standalone story. It's Hanukkah, Passover, and Purim, and those are all connected by our main character, Ben, being interviewed and recounting, being interviewed for a YouTube show that his cousin is doing, and then recounting these family holidays because his cousin fancies himself or herself an influencer. And it's really a love letter from Alex and I to our families and to our culture and to Jewish holidays and all these kind of crazy meshuggah things that happen. And also to try to make it universal in a way to, families are families and holidays are holidays, and everybody around a table eating and going through the same desires of being heard and being seen and being a part of things is the same. And we really wanted to create something that was in that vein of kind of the Sunday funnies that we grew up on and kind of Harvey and Archie comics that we kind of really love, and really bring that to the forefront of this comedy. And now I tag with Alex.
So there's obviously a specificity in certain things, certain iconography, certain items related to the holidays. but you know, the overarching thing for us was to make sure it was also accessible. And, you know, because the whole idea for us is to bring people in as a point of ingress, or, you know, Aaron likes to call it the jumping off. What do you call it? The jumping off point for people who've always wanted to.
I said something on point for non-Jews. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, you know, and that wasn't something that was done by accident. We want, you know, that was very intentional by us. And so, you know, a lot of the themes are also things like, you know, kids being trapped in what can feel like an, you know, adults only world sometimes, or feeling like they're outcast, or maybe even the ones who kind of live inside their heads and contrive of these little mysteries that may or may not be actually occurring, you know, around them. So we were injecting a lot of that into the storytelling as well. And you know, the Judaism and the representation is obviously important to us, but so is the inclusivity.
Yeah, and so each story is a mystery. So that's the thing.
Right.
Each story is a little Scooby-Doo
Holiday
style,
specific mystery.
yeah, Scooby-Doo style mystery that takes place at each holiday.
I've been joking. Yeah, I've been joking saying it's Mel Brooks writing a Scooby-Doo comic strip. That's what I've been joking.
I get behind that.
Yeah. You saying that after I've read this story, and yeah, I love that. That's great. As this one, can I bring up the thing that just kind of really killed me? There's a section here where it's going through and it's introducing every single member of the family. And it's like this person and what they do, this person and what they do, and then they talk or something, and then there's just the empty chair with Prophet Elijah, miracle worker, missed every Seder since 849 BC.
Yes, I'm so glad that hit.
Yes,
yeah,
so glad.
We talked about quite a bit. We wanted, you know, we wanted to find a way to make that land, and it's such a good visual gag.
It was perfect because you're reading all these things. It's like, yep, the doublespeak lady and everything. And I know these aren't just Jewish relatives. These are all of your relatives. These just happen to be Jewish, but they have the whole thing that they're doing, you know. And so you're relating to all of it. And then to bring it back to, by the way, this is a Jewish thing, the Prophet Elijah.
Yeah, and they're going to have that in the script, so we kind of had to figure out, like, we knew that was the gag, and we had to figure out kind of how to make that land visually. And I think in the end, we all kind of got a giggle out of it, so that was a good sign.
Yeah,
this was the one page I think we kept kind of going back to it, and I know on my end, from a writing point of view, I kept tweaking it. I was changing little things up through lettering, right, just to kind of make it. To get the spacing where we wanted things, and to get everything else the right way and make it land. So, you know, I just wanted to be as funny as possible, you know, and you did similar with the layout, of course. So we kept kind of working at it because this was such an important page to us.
Yeah.
In terms of the new book also, which has the story in it, and all the other material in the new book is completely 100% new and no one's seen it before. This is establishing all the characters in the family in one page.
Yeah. And I think the hard work paid off, right? Because like every word on this page hits. There's not like a wasted word on this page. I mean, I don't think there is on any of them really, but it's specifically this one. It's just, I think, you know, the stars aligned for us on this one.
Yeah.
It flows together so well. It looks effortless, but I can, as a writer, I can see why it would be so, like, I got, you know, getting it and, like you said, going over it over and over and over and over and over to make it go. But once you got it, you totally nailed it. So, and it sets the path for the whole story.
I can't even tell you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So, absolutely loved it. I know it's only the one story that we had a chance to read, so I definitely want to check it out the rest once it comes out. But both of you attended the Scott Snyder program. What were the takeaways from that you pumped into this project?
That was just
that was just me.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was both. You know what?
But I know because I was
wrong. My notes are wrong.
I'm a vagrant that Aaron picked up on his creative highway is basically what that is.
Yeah, he was. So what happened was he got left behind at the subway station in New York.
Okay.
And I got off the train.
And I let go of your hand for 2 seconds.
Yeah, he kept bumping into his turnstile like he couldn't find the door in a video game over and over again.
Fairly short, it gets confusing for me.
And I was like, I have a comic script. I
Love
was
it.
like, sir, can
But
I
we
have
be dressed.
um, and the rest is history.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh my gosh.
So, I'm a part of Scott Snyder's Best Jacket Workshop, which is phenomenal. And what really comes with that is, besides Scott's mentorship, which is fantastic, and he's an amazing writer and a very approachable person, is the community that's kind of born from that workshop. The comic community, the creators who are a part of it, writers, artists, everybody involved. And the Cloakroom is, the writers in the Cloakroom are, submitted and taken from that, group of people. So the editors on this, Jerry Carita and Veronica Howell, were part of that group. And I had submitted, Crime and Passover as a script for the holiday anthology. And that's sort of where that kicked it off. Alex and I met through a mutual friend who's also a fantastic artist and writer named Tony Wolf. And I was talking to Tony, and Tony said, I really think, Tony read the script, and I said, I really think you and Alex would hit it off. And that this, it's kind of up both your alleys. And then when Alex and I connected, it was just immediately like we both had an innate understanding of this family and and a gelling on creatively what we both wanted to do. It's sort of the Frozen of finishing each other's sandwiches. So it's kind of the same thing there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Alex, where did you start your art journey?
The long version or the short? We'll do the short version.
Whatever you want to do, my friend.
There are people here they'll get bored. So I kind of decided to commit to comics in about 2015, and so I started with a couple web comics. One of them was the aforementioned Mr. Butterchips, a sort of a socio-political-ish comic where it's an organ grinder's monkey who's at the lead and just railing kind of against the dying of the light. And the other one was one called Decades of an Experience, which was sort of autobio slice of life, like everybody does when they first do a webcomic, I think. And then I kind of came to more of all ages, children's literature, got an agent, did Effects of Pickled Herring in 2024, got some good feedback from that, and kind of leaned into the all ages stuff. And so then it was in 2025 when my friend Adam Malenta from Papercutz reached out and got me into a couple projects there, the Flash Gordon one and the Papercutz one. I've just been kind of trying to, I think, recapture what I got into creating comics for, the original things that kind of excited me about it and I loved about it. And it sort of felt like there was no better time maybe in my life, in history, or at least our modern history, to kind of latch onto that, glom onto that, and really embrace it. So, part of that has been obviously working with Aaron and, crafting these sort of odes to not our families at all,
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Purely coincidental, any resemblances to people living or dead.
We have to put that in the beginning, right? We have to put that small in the print in the beginning of the book. Do we have to get that? Yeah. Just litigiously, I think we're safer that way. I think, we should probably just put that in. And then prior to Snyder stuff, I also did a number of courses at Kubert, which was fantastic too. And I had some great mentors over there. And it was sort of for me making a transition from, film and TV stuff and other things I was working on, because I always wanted to write comics, and I've always been writing comics in some capacity, but really kind of turning my focus completely to it. And that's what I've been able to do since then, which has been quite a ride.
So do you full script? Sorry.
No, sorry. Go for it, Carrie.
Do I full script? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like full scripting. To me, it's great for conveying what I want to get across. And also it allows me to do all the dialogue and get everything in there. And then I can always revise and tweak as pages come in, or as, before it goes to the letterer. But that way, full script, I feel, is the best way to get the story across for me. And also, Alex knows, and at least in our collaboration, especially, layouts and stuff, I leave a lot of freedom and a lot more open to Alex to comment. Our communication line is ridiculously way too open.
Oh, that's great though.
Awesome.
'Cause, we speak to a lot of duos, and collaboration is definitely key, especially between writer and artist. What were, for both of you, what were your introductions to comics when you were kids? Like, what were the books that you picked up, or the first book you picked up?
I think one of the first I bought, like with my own money, may have been the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man Wolverine crossover.
Oh,
nice. I don't remember the year from that because I'm very old and memories just tend to slip away, but it was probably early 90s.
Yeah, totally early 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember because the imagery is so iconic and it just sort of implants in your mind. But that was also something where I saw that as a kid, and my sensibilities were far more with things like Aaron was saying, like comic strips and Saturday morning cartoons, Don Bluth and those things. So when I started getting into comic books and thinking maybe this is a route I wanted to go, I saw things like Todd McFarlane and went, well, I could never do that. That's not, that maybe this isn't for me. And so I had backed off for a while, but, found some alternative comics later on, which was my pathway back in. But the very first book I remember seeing, not that I bought, was, and I don't know, I keep saying this on podcasts and like not actually checking if it's true, but I think it's right. It was like
that will become true.
That's right. Actually, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way the internet works.
Works for certain people in this country anyway. It was like Batman 222. I think it was like Silver Age, and it was sort of a parody of the Paul is Dead Beatles hoax. And that's the first book, that's the first comic I remember reading because I loved the Beatles as a kid. I still very much enjoy them, but I loved them as a kid, and so that was something that hit very deep for me in a way I don't think I understood at the time.
Oh, that's awesome. What about you, Aaron?
For me, started super early with the digest size comics in the grocery store aisles, when you were waiting there with your parents and you're like, I want to read this. And you would just grab it because they put it real low for the kids just to mess with the parents. And then you'd see like the digest size Richie Rich, or you'd see the digest size Archie and Riverdale or whatever. And you just, want to take that home. So the digest size stuff was always my first foray into it. And I loved the storytelling in them. And I thought they were really fun. And then the more I read comics, the more I saw, oh, well, there's, superheroes and there's non-superhero titles and there's movie adaptations. I remember when the Star Wars adaptations and Marvel Star Wars books came out, right? That blew my mind.
Howard Chicken.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they were gorgeous.
Don't ask him about those.
Yeah. Well, they were at the time. I'm not going to talk to him, but I loved them. So, keep it between us, I guess. And then the real seminal, series for me was when I read Grant Morrison's run on Animal Man. When that came out, that really changed the way I looked at storytelling in comics overall. Because of just the meta aspect of it, the realistic handling of the family, the supernatural aspects that were factored in, everything about it really spoke to me in a different way than anything that came before it. And every issue was not what I expected. It was an unpredictable thing. And I love the idea of surprising storytelling, right? And kind of compressed storytelling. I like it where there's a lot happening in a single issue. I don't like things that are stretched out too long. I can always give them, there's always more to pull from for later. Let's just treat every issue as if it's the first issue someone's reading and put everything we can into that issue. And that's sort of the school of thought that I always came from. And those books really sort of taught me that. Just by reading that. And then the early runs on some of the Batman runs and the Superman runs. I love the Brayfogle Batman. I loved his illustrations of the Batman at the time, and that kind of stuff.
And Harvey, we both loved Harvey too. We have a shared love of those lines too.
Oh, yeah, all the horror stuff and the pogo stuff. We love the Walt Kelly pogo stuff
for sure. And I think that whole reintroducing the character, so you're kind of keeping people in the know regardless when they jump in. That's a very comic strip mentality too, because that's something they tell you to do for the first couple of years when you're starting out, to basically say the names a lot, reintroduce the characters every day, because you never know when people are jumping on board. So it's an interesting sort of correlation there.
It's a great mnemonic to use. And even in real life, my mom worked with somebody who would never not say her name in every sentence that she said to her, because her name's Karma, so it should be hard to forget. But hey, Karma, how you doing, Karma? What's going on today, Karma?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that works for comics too. Like you said, every issue is somebody's first.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's something that, you know, some people tend to forget, you know, and I absolutely love it that you brought that up. The you know, especially what I was going to bring up earlier with the all ages comics. You know, you're really seeing a very large explosion of those, and you know, a lot of like older people, you know, reading comics. Oh, you're killing my childhood and shit like that. You know, it's. It's totally idiotic, because, you know, in order to keep comics going, we got to bring in new blood, you know, and that's a great way to get kids in. You know, you bring the talent to those books.
Yeah, and it almost seemed like a fluke in some ways. I mean, because I think the real sort of, you know, inflection point for that was the Raina Telgemeier books. You know, at least, you know, as far as the being commercially viable, but also building a huge audience for it. And it's interesting how that happened, because it seemed to come out of nowhere. It was like somebody just decided to give them, you know, a chance, which, imagine that, something grand happening from giving people a chance. And so, yeah, they've been like the only categories in the trade markets that have actually increased in sales year after year, because they tapped into sort of you know, like even with the Captain Underpants and Dogman, those in particular, they tapped into a category that nobody was really paying attention to, which was the reluctant readers, mainly young boys who are intimidated, or, you know, think books aren't cool or whatever it is. And this gives them sort of a bridge into reading. And I don't necessarily love when people call it you know, comics are a bridge to reading, because comics are reading. So I don't love that. But if it gets people interested in reading other forms of literature as well, that's something that we should always be striving to do.
Yeah, I mean, I consider comics, I mean, not a bridge to storytelling, right? More than anything else. Like, to me, it's a bridge to, and because I can only speak to it for myself, and that's what it was for me, right? Comics are a bridge to making more comics. They were a bridge for me to filmmaking. They were a bridge to me for a number of things, because, you know, filmmaking is just comics that move, right? It's like, it's essentially,
it's storyboard,
you know,
too.
Yeah. How do I tell this story? And I have the ability to tell a story, and everyone has a story, right? And I think as a bridge to storytelling, introducing comics to families or young readers, you know, our comic, the Schticks Stones, is a family comic. So like, there's things that go over kids' heads. There are things for adults. There are a lot of gags that are physical gags. The Hanukkah story is almost all physical gags, you know? And so each story has something for the different generations of people that can enjoy it. And I really wanted to create, and Alex as well, something that we wanted to see when we were, you know, younger in our families.
That age, yeah.
You know,
something
we wanted to hide and not have people see when they thought we were reading something else, you know.
That's awesome.
I got you. I wanted to ask you real quick, Alex, about Papercutz, because especially with the Flash Gordon, because we've had Art and Franco on a number of times. And so that was very driven by like Franco's art style going through.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
both of them.
Part of it was art, part of it was Franco, and like, they each have their own kind of thing. But there's the Franco style when he's drawing with art, and then there's the other Franco style.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but so were you asked to kind of, because I noticed that yours followed very close to kind of the Franco vision, if we're going to put it that way. Was that a requirement when you went in there? And did you have much where did you get asked much? But I can see you have your own set on it, as we can see, like going on. But how are they asked? How did they approach you with it? I'm asking this terribly.
No. I completely understand, and it's a good question. So Art and Franco's designs were provided to us, and so we were asked to follow those pretty closely as far as things like the costuming and the sizes, things of that nature. But we were also encouraged to sort of exaggerate it, use our own styles. So it was sort of, we were given sort of carte blanche to blend the two. But I think the idea was to not go outside the designs themselves too much. But otherwise, we were given pretty free reign. And that was, again, by Adam Walenta, who was really great to work with on this project, because very supportive and again, just kind of the liberty to express ourselves, which you don't get a lot of the time from editors.
And I love that you guys are doing it. Do you know, like, coming from a Kickstarter person who studies a lot of them, how amazing it is that for an all ages comic, you guys funded on day one? Because I know people who are also like Papercutz veterans and stuff. I'm not going to throw out any names, but we're like worried towards the end that they weren't going to fund at all, because it's very hard to hit an all ages audience. Like yours does hit all ages instead of it being like young adult or children's, but it's amazing, and I'm very proud of you. You deserve it, because what I've seen is like it hits the adults too, but to have to put it in that category does often affect sales. So what was your marketing strategy coming into it? I mean, we have you now and we're like, buy it. Shut up and take my money. I'm not allowed.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very kind of you to say that. Yeah, we didn't know what to expect coming in. This is both of our first Kickstarter campaigns.
Wow.
So, we're new. I'm not new to the platform because I've backed a ton of campaigns and I follow Kickstarter for a long time, and I love what it's done for creators and everybody else. And so this was the first foray for both of us into that. And and then Alex can talk to this too. My thought a lot with the strategy of, if we're talking about strategies at all, was just to make it, organic. I just wanted to have an organic page and have a campaign that was organic to what we're doing and the story we're telling and the characters we created. And I think, sort of embedding that tone and personality within the campaign and within the page, down to, there's Yiddish all over the campaign page, right? The reviews that we put, where people put reviews, are from our family members, because you can't get more Jewish than family members registering an opinion, right? Or as any other family. So all the reviews are, my mom, Alex's mom, our uncles, our cousins, right? And so just fun stuff to put in. And then we named all the reward tiers after, things that were Jewish or deli platters. And we just wanted to keep it real and keep it organic to the story that we're telling, and keep it funny and lively and joyful,
Jewish relatives and deli platters. Got it. That's what
you just described the perfect day. I mean, I don't know. We're just going to go get deli together. When I'm in Connecticut, we're getting deli together.
They're good deli in Connecticut.
Oh yeah. Please. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I interrupted you. Sorry.
I was just randomly babbling. It's something I do. That's why I have a squirrel to keep me in check.
She does.
Alex is going to talk strategy.
Yes, please.
Oh, strategy. Yes. Yeah. I mean, just echoing a lot of what Aaron said. We worked with a great production artist and sort of page manager who's named Joey Galvez, who, we would have been lost without him, as far as, putting the page together and, trying to come up with rewards tiers that worked and things like that. And he kind of led us through the wilderness on that one, which we greatly appreciated. But yeah, I think a lot of it was just, and it sounds maybe trite or like cliche, but it was really us kind of putting the word out to whoever we knew, and that included family and friends. We weren't too proud to beg from people we knew, but it was just about connecting the story with people, and we put out bookmarks here in town. We passed them out when we were at Emerald City Comic Con, and people, yes, I think stickers, bookmarks, postcards, things like that tend to be thrown away, but I think they can also kind of make a connection.
Not our bookmarks, Alex. Not
Huh?
our bookmarks.
Well, maybe not, but something must have. It could have been the bookmarks, but I think those.
I like bookmarks.
Yeah, see, I think they'll still make an impression. It's a personal thing. You're handing it to somebody. You're making that connection. So that was all part of the strategy as well, is just kind of getting it out there in any way possible. And I know you kind of jokingly said that this is coming afterward, but this is still something that we're super grateful for, that people allow us this time to do that, because it's still going. So this is still incredibly helpful. So we're
gonna push this hard. Yeah.
Yeah, we have some great stretch goals. And also the other thing that we did was we pre-launched over a month prior to, which we were told was something that was good to do.
Yes.
We did a very early pre-launch and then did a bunch of outreach pre-launch wise to try to get as many pre-launch followers as possible. So as far as marketing goes, that was something that was advice given to us that that we took. And I know before we launched, we had over 100 pre-launch followers, which I think is some sort of what people try to hit. I'm not 100%, but that sort of was a big goal of ours moving forward, was to get that pre-launch page in front of people before we launched.
Yeah.
Leo, can you pull it up again so we can start looking at like the different reward tiers and stuff that they're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, and I think part of that, was just also engaging with people. So we were doing things like revealing the covers and, just getting people to kind of buy into it during that pre-launch period. I think that was a really important, aspect of that, which I think, we did okay. 60th successful campaign that Geek Collective has helped market. Nice, Joey. Thanks, man.
No way. Look at you.
Awesome, Joey.
Joey,
you got to talk to me about Kickstarter stuff. Crowdfunding. Let's scroll back up so we can start from the top and look at the different bundles we got going here and stuff.
Got some cool rewards in the offing.
Yeah, we're going to be adding things as the campaign goes on. Things will get added, which is cool.
Yeah, we got some cool bundles.
So we got a secret cover going on there.
Alex, you want to talk about the cover?
Yeah. So we, Mr. Mike Kunkel, who you may know from Hero Bear and the Kid, from Billy Bastion and the Magic of Shazam, from plenty of other books. He is graciously lending his talents to a mystery cover for us that will be revealed at some point in the campaign, but you'll have to follow to find out. But we were really, really grateful for him signing on to that, because especially his style in this sort of all ages, vein is just, picture perfect for what we're doing. And, I can't say what it is. We're not going to reveal it just yet, but you're definitely going to want to at least back to find out, because it's going to be pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Is it going to be?
Fans are going to be really excited about it too. I think it's going to be it's a Kickstarter exclusive cover, so it'll be something that's specific to the campaign.
Those I love having something that nobody else gets. I was joking when I looked over at my sofa. I think like Alex was like, "Yep, I know what she's doing." But I had 20 Kickstarter boxes fall off earlier this evening when I was walking. I have a stack. I've been waiting to do an unboxing, but I did find his stash, so that was good. But I had to like pick up all these things. But so if you've gone ahead and like supported the project already, if you got in for a reward tier, are we going to be able to grab that mystery cover as an add-on, or do we need to change our tier to pick it out, or how do we do it?
You could definitely grab it as an add-on. If you haven't, if you haven't grabbed them yet, it's included in the 3 cover tier. You can get all 3.
Okay.
So when it's available, it will definitely be something that's available to everybody. When we reveal the cover shortly.
Awesome. Check out all these things.
Yeah.
I love this, the EDU institution bundle tier. How popular was that?
So that we just kind of got that out, and we're also reaching out to because the book itself, Schticks and Stones, while we're not considering it an educational book. We're not doing it to teach, but we're doing it also as part of Jewish representation. It's very true to the holidays. It's authentic to our experiences. And we think there's a lot of opportunity there for religious institutions and schools or education to have something fun to read for the holidays that are also teaching the kids about Jewish holidays and other things while having fun doing it. So this tier is for, a highly discounted rate for 20 units or 20 units, 20 copies of the book. I just read it in front of me and I'm like, it's not a unit. It's copies of the book. And then you get the dubious honor of having Alex and I come and chat with whoever you want for like half an hour, 45 minutes with your class, your community center, your congregation, ask us
any retirement home.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah. It's our AMA. Yeah.
Me at home on a Saturday night because I have nothing else to do and would really just like to learn about the things that I was reading and pronouncing wrong to Alexa.
There you go.
And being like, how does this work? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like Aaron was saying, it's not that we're setting out to be educational, but we definitely are into having conversations with people who are interested, because that's the whole idea. That's always the idea when you're, introducing things about different cultures is just kind of gaining that initial interest, opening the conversation, opening the dialogue. And it's something that's kind of missing from a lot of spaces these days. So, we're trying to at least encourage that with our community.
I think that there's this is going to sound weird, I think, maybe for me particularly, but there are some very bland cultures in America where we all just kind of do the same thing. And then there are like these incredibly rich culture, like things like people are just like, oh, he's Jewish, but oh my God, there's so many things going on, and there's like this whole other language, and there's all these different holidays, and it's not just Jewish, but a lot of just I used this before when I was talking with Pornsec Pizza was I'm a white girl in Nebraska. I encounter nothing. Like everybody is like Lutheran, basically. That's pretty much everything. We don't even have, we have a couple Catholics, but that's about it. And so like learning about different religions and things that are beyond just religion, just a way of life and stuff is fascinating for me. I love it. And I love it when it's brought up. So this was just, it's beautiful. I think it's very educational, even as a 50-year-old woman, like, wow, I learned some stuff reading this. And I'm not a total ignoramus. I've studied things, but I was just like, oh, wow, this is like real family centered. And so you'd feel like you're part of a thing. It's not just like I'm writing down a history paper or something. You're just sitting there hanging out and learning stuff with the family and being like, what does that word mean? Oh, that's great. I love that. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I love that.
That's what we want.
And then you ask Alexa, and then boom, you're good to go.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then she mocked like a Jewish grandparent would do. So it's a perfect response.
But they would say it many, many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they would call Alexa Siri the first 4 times.
Probably. Yeah. And then try to record an outgoing message into her.
And then call me and say the fax isn't working.
Is the light beeping, Harold? Is the light beeping yet?
Did you program the Google? Did you put the words there? I want a different picture on the Google. Why did you put the picture on the Google?
What happened? Someone's trying
to
page you. No one's paging you. No one's paging you since 1989.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is totally off topic, but you mentioned facts. Do either of you guys watch The Pit?
I do. I'm a couple episodes behind, so no spoilers. But yes.
Okay. Well,
I have an 18-month-old, so I don't watch much of anything.
Okay.
I just read, this.
I want to watch is the back of my eyelids, and I barely get to watch that.
Not really a spoiler, but there's a point in the story where there's like a hack, and they got to shut down all.
Yeah. I'm
Okay. Good. Yeah. So they need to bring out all this old equipment, and you have these, younger doctors, like, trying to figure out like what a fax machine is and stuff like that. And like the actual phone ringing and everything. Yeah. It was hilarious.
There's some good stuff, and then it just ages and dates everything around me.
Yep.
But yeah, it's it's fun. It's fun to see someone toil with it.
To avail you of any guilt, by the time I get to watch any of these things, I'll probably have forgotten whatever spoilers you may give. So please speak freely.
It's true.
Totally.
He knows it's the same with me. Like I have him putting like he is sharing with me old Saint Elsewhere episodes.
Nice.
This is my life. I'm like, I gotta binge watch some Saint Elsewhere. Because
there are worse things.
So where do we have on here? You were talking about stretch goals. So where do we go to look at the stretch goals section?
There are other
scrolling up.
There are some sketch rewards too that are fantastic. So you could get you could get one of the books signed and remarked by Alex.
All right.
There is a sketch commission, one with Alex and one with Ralph. Ralph Singh is our colorist and letterer on the book. Taylor Esposito is the letterer on the Crime and Passover story, which is fantastic too. And Ralph also illustrated our variant cover. The Akira variant cover was Ralph. So
that's an Akira.
So he also has a sketch tier there as well. So Alex and Ralph both have one. And then the drawn into the stories, those went first. So those are gone already.
Those are gone.
Unless Alex finds it in his heart to add another one at the last minute. But yeah, they're all gone for now. But that was phenomenal, and I can't wait to include cameos of backers in the stories.
What they don't know is it's just going to be stick figures in the back with a label.
Yeah,
Joe.
It does the fine print.
It's just a name card on the dais.
Yeah.
So, what if you're ordering a sketch? What are we getting here? Is it like a 5x9 or what size? I
think I was doing 9x12.
9x12. Okay.
Yeah, for the commission.
I'm like throwing out numbers. You're like, who does a 5x9? What the
220, 221, whatever it takes. Yeah.
2x4, whatever it is. No, it'll be 9x12 Bristol board. And I work traditional. I think Ralph is traditional as well. So. It's actually the original art that you'll be getting in those tiers.
Oh, very nice.
And that's how Ralph is based in Germany, so his shipping is coming from Germany because that's where he's based from for his.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so how much is it to get the OA? To get the sketch? Yeah.
The sketch is a $75 tier, and that comes with the book and it comes with the book and the PDF.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. That is.
And the commission. Yeah.
That is phenomenal. And how are you doing original? Like if somebody says like, hey, here's a picture of me, can you make me this? Or are you doing like, hey, pick a character, do this? Do you have limitations on it? Because some people do, some people don't.
So I did say, I think we said that I'll draw, whatever, dealer's choice. But I will say there are limitations to that because people often assume that if you're a cartoonist, you can also do caricatures very well. And unfortunately, the reality is that is a very specific skill set and one that I do not really possess. I've done them before and I sort of, capture the like, I hate to sound like ethereal about it, but I just kind of try to capture the vibe of the person because I can't do caricature. It never actually looks like them. So if you want a caricature, here's what I'll say. I'll do it for you, but you'll be disappointed. So your best bet, if you're buying that tier, is to ask me to draw your favorite character from fandom.
But if you've never seen somebody illustrate vibes before, very cool.
That's what I've been told.
I get that though. I bought a tier from a different. I'm not going to go into names because I try not to play favorites or anything. I don't spend anything until after I've done the shows because sometimes I'm the one that's putting it up and it shows how much I spent and I don't like it's embarrassing for people to know how much they're like, how do you pay rent? I'm planning on living in cardboard boxes that are all sitting on my sofa right now from Kickstarters that I've funded.
Worth it.
Right? Absolutely.
They're really good for shimming tables.
Yeah.
But I asked somebody when I was like, can you do me? And they're like, you know that I don't do likenesses at all, right? And I'm like, okay, can you just like make the hair happen? Like
Yeah.
all I need is just like put it, because it was I've been collecting me as other people. Or as comic book character. I had a really cool one from Joe St. Pierre where it was me as the Shade, from Starman. And it was like, yeah. And that was really fun. I have some other ones that have been coming in, but I asked for one in specific, and he was like, it's not going to look like you at all. And I'm like, that's absolutely fine. The only thing I want in here is the hair to represent me. Everything else is you. It's all you. Just give me the hair.
That is a wide breadth to give people, which I think is appreciated for people like me.
Yeah.
Wide berth, I should say.
Yeah. Well, and it's always like put in the things and people are like, I tortured poor Joe St. Pierre. He did that. And then he also like, I made him do a pinhead remark on his sketchbook cover. And I sent him like 4 different ones. They were all like artistic interpretations of pinhead. So it wasn't just like a video thing, so, but he was like, yep. That one took me a while. That one was kind of a pain, but he did it and he nailed it. But it was like, sorry.
Yeah. So that's, as far as my limitations go, I would say that's the main thing. I think you're looking at my art style, in the pages and the sample pages and such. So you kind of know what you're getting. If you follow my Instagram or anything, I do these Sunday funnies. I've been calling them, which are just my versions of comic strip characters that I started doing on a whim. I think it was earlier this year. So you kind of know what you're getting. So I'm not, at least with this, because oftentimes you might ask for a commission from people and you know their work from something else, but it might not be what you were hoping for in the commission. So with me, what you see is what you get. So.
Yep. Oh, Leo, do you want to pull up the spelling bee?
Yep. Yeah. I wanted to make sure we covered that because we are coming up on time, but just wanted to go over real quick for everybody watching. If you haven't checked it out, we have a relaunch of our website. And if you're looking to find out more information about Aaron and Alex, we have their event right here. And also we got pages set up for both of you as well. So if anybody's looking for your information, you can bring it right on the website here. And also, Carrie, if you wanted to put their information in your corner here for the Kickstarter,
yes.
We'll get it on there. We'll get it on there as well.
Awesome. And then if you follow the campaign, there's going to be a bunch of stretch goals coming up to you that are going to be including, we've already unlocked the bookmarks. And the next, and it's a bookmark with a piece of matzah on it too, so you can't go wrong. And and the next up is a playing card with the family member on it. A playing card with the family member on it is at 4,000, and then we go holofoil cover, and then a signed and numbered art print of the cover with from Alex. So some very cool stuff.
Full size, 11 by 17 too. So
okay, so is it a random family member card, or do you pick the family member card?
It'd be random.
I think it's going to be a random family member, right? Everyone gets one random family member.
I think that's what we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you going to put like a major stretch goal and you get the whole deck?
We might
just pitching it to you, like that. That would be cool.
Me think somebody wants a deck of cards,
or a percentage.
Do we?
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, Carrie mentioned. Carrie mentioned spelling bee. So this is. What's that, Carrie?
Oh, this is the first collaboration that you guys had together, right?
Second.
Second.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crime and Passover was funny enough. The first one, yeah.
And this is hitting store shelves rather soon, right?
Yeah, this is. I think it just got the printer and it just shipped out, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are seeing stuff that nobody else, but some of us have seen right now. This is fun. This is the coolest thing I've read in a while. It was so much fun because I was a spelling bee girl in school, and I'm a fucking witch. So there we go.
This is your story.
It is. I really related
to you, Carrie. I wrote it for you.
Yeah, you did. I appreciate that, Aaron, so much.
in the pastiche of Looney Tunes meets slasher film.
Yeah, I remember when
Yes.
I wrote this, I was like, Alex, how do you feel about drawing blood stuff and some gore?
I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
up to the task. I especially like the spine coming out of Shaggy's
Yeah.
or not Shaggy's body there. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun challenge.
Yeah, this was one of the most fun stories to write.
Yeah,
wow.
This is a beautiful story, folks. It's and you guys should grab this. It's issue 2, right, of the Cloakroom?
I think it's actually issue 5.
Or is it 5?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw something about
5.
Yeah, oh, that is 5. I thought that maybe one of you had something in issue 2. That might have been bad research on my part.
3 was Crime and Passover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're not wrong.
All right. Okay.
Correct.
That's what got me confused. But you guys, this is fabulous. It's a girl going to a new school, signing up for the one activity because your parents make you want to fucking sign up for something, and you're gonna fit in and make some friends. And she goes for the spelling bee because she thinks she's in a witch's school, and it's kind of different than what she thought, and it's very different from what everyone attending thought. So it's beautiful. We aren't going to show you the end, of course, because you got to get it. But you can see it. It just starts off in blood, and which is wonderful.
From there,
it's fun. There's a lot of like little flying hearts, like the one on the bottom of the page.
I got to draw a lot of internal organs, which was a blast.
Here's some organs for you. How you doing with your?
My Google image search is probably a nightmare for forensics, but it was a lot of fun to do.
Oh, I write horror. I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a big comedy horror fan. I think comedy horror stuff is so fun, and this was sort of my take on a comedy horror. Kind of comedy horror / coming of age that we all loved growing up. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
And really born like exactly like you said. This young witch, her parents want her to make friends and find her people and do after school activities. And you have to put yourself out there to meet somebody. And so she does, and she does it in a way that she doesn't expect,
In grand glory fashion.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn pun as well.
It is.
It's a pun. We love a pun. We love a pun.
I mean, aren't Jews the people of puns?
So, I didn't know that. I thought it was my family and kitchen people.
I'm speaking it up, but I'm claiming that now.
You're claiming it. Do you have a flag, sir? Do you have a flag to plant?
No, that's where I failed in this moment.
You can see Alex at Grossinger's in the Catskills every Saturday night. No.
I have a little monkey that does the rim shots for me.
Oh my God,
Mr. Butterchips.
Yes. Folks, if you have not checked it out before, and I hadn't heard of it before, and I'm so glad that I did because I started reading before this, go and look up Mr. Butterchips. It is a very fun webcomic, and it's following an accordion monkey's like regular life, being like fuck the man right now, kind of, and saying things like fuck the man and go jack off in your mother's ass, like just a lot of different little references here and there. It is definitely not safe for work, but it is so safe for your soul. It's going to be like, this is going to make you happy.
That should have been your tagline, Alex. That's pretty good.
I should pay her. Yeah, for that line.
That was a really good tagline.
I asked for an autographed copy of something, and you can have that. How's that sound?
Done.
There we go. All right.
Well, before we wrap things up, whoever wants to go first, what do you guys, and Alex, I know you have limited time, when you're not doing comic work, what do you dork out about?
You want to go first?
I mean, do you
Alex,
collect history
you go
items,
first, and I'll follow suit.
Do you build toy boats?
well, now you just stole my thunder. No. Toy boats are wonderful, but not necessarily something I dork out about. It might sound like a very cliche thing to say again, but I mean, music is one that I've always dorked out about. It's a big thing in my life. It's a big part of my creative process. It's a big part of my mood stability and emotional fortification. So music is definitely something I geek out about, and I've recently kind of stopped being as much of a music elitist and kind of broadened my net to start listening to other things, some like newer pop and maybe some pop punk, which were things that I adamantly stayed away from in the past. But you know what? When you open your heart to things, sometimes you find treasures. So I'm glad I did that. So music is a big one for me. I mean, Aaron is far above me on this one, but movies, I've always loved movies and musicals. Growing up, my mom was an actress, an amateur actress. She did community theater in LA and in Monterey when we were there. So I grew up on musical soundtracks, and we watched a lot of the old movies, the My Fair Ladies and the Music Mans, and all of those. So I guess that ties back into the music too, but also film has been big for me as well, and very inspirational. Because like Aaron said, it's kind of comics in motion, so you can extrapolate a lot of inspiration from certain shots, perspectives, the way they portray movement. A lot of those are almost directly applicable if you can kind of see how to do it. So for me, I think those, and probably my son, maybe that's a silly thing to say, but he's little, so we're trying to take it all in, and so we kind of dork out about that, I guess, because there's some pretty dorky parenting.
Eventually, you'll just start geeking out about what your kid geeks out about.
Yeah, sure.
You try to have mutual geek.
Yeah,
and that's
and he does a little dance. He loves music, so we have this Bluetooth speaker in the living room, and we'll come out in the morning and he'll point to it and make his little noise and put on music, and he'll start doing his little bop. So hopefully we're passing some of that on. Thank you for saying it's not silly. I appreciate that.
Not silly. Dork out about family, man. Family's awesome.
And I've dorked out about a lot of things in my life, but those are kind of the things that, like Leo was saying, I sort of have the time and a bandwidth for right now. But yeah, and creating with Aaron and creating in general, or, when, like you said, outside of that, but those are still important for my, my emotions and my mood as well, and mental stability.
Yeah.
It's good that you can equate your job with mental stability, because some people are just like, this is just a job. Some people are like, all I have is deadlines, I'm going to go insane. And you're like, hey, I'm getting something out of this. I create, I produce, I feel, I'm done. I'm good.
It's the only, one of the only things that, I think is helping the sanity in the world around us that's so crazy is, to be able to try to get a story out and produce something in the world that, not like you think, oh, this is going to do so much good, but it's like you just put a piece of you out and that's all you can do. Right. And I think there's a beauty in that. I think it's healthy. And I think there's a mental health aspect to creating that is helpful to your soul and to you as a person, and without not just creating through writing, like creating anything,
putting anything
music, art, a piece of furniture, a table, like whatever it might be,
dance, theater, busking.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Mimes, I haven't. No, mimes too. They count.
I was refraining from saying that, but yeah, they mimes
full on.
Unless you're an Akmog pork, in which case you're thrown into the scorpion pit. But that's.
and then for me, in terms of geeking out, I'm sort of like I think Alex and I could just kind of reverse it, which is what Alex said too. His first was music, and then it was like film and musicals and stuff. And mine's the reverse. My first is film and musicals, and then my second is music. And I think that's why Alex and I also jive so much on creating as collaborators, is because we have such similar geek influences on our sensibilities, familial influences on the work we do and our sense of humor. So those things all kind of jive. But, film wise, I mean, back on the East Coast, in the city used to have Kim's Video. And I remember going into those kind of video stores and just geeking out on VHSs of bootleg VHSs of foreign films, right? They'd have films organized just by director, which you don't find anymore, where you just go through, you find a director you like, and you just go through every movie in the catalog, right? and you see how that person has grown creatively, how they've changed creatively, how their storytelling is different. You take someone like Nolan, and you take, Following, and then Memento, and then whatever, you can kind of see this whole trajectory of these things. And I had a kick where I was just getting everybody's first film. Like, let's see, all the famous directors, whatever the first film was, I was going to watch everybody's first feature film that they made. And I had a whole blackout curtain first film festival thing for Party of One.
Yes, yeah, albums.
Yeah,
Is there anybody that you would say don't check out their first film?
No. I mean, one of my favorites of all time is Richard Linklater, and his first film was Slacker, and I must have watched Slacker like a dozen times. And it's it's a meandering movie, but it's all about these vignettes and these stories, and I love it. I just love Slacker. And he's still no slouch. He's fantastic. So I love that. And then with music, and then musicals, no doubt, East Coast musicals. I grew up going to musicals, classic musicals. We were just on the East Coast last summer, and we saw like 3. We saw like Moulin Rouge. We saw Little Shop of Horrors, which I love. That's my favorite musical. Little Shop of Horrors is my favorite musical ever. And we saw it like off Broadway, and it was fantastic. And we got last minute tickets. It's like everything about it. I sing it around the house. It's embarrassing. Then music wise, it's more like soundtracks. I'm a soundtrack guy. So it goes back to movies in a way. Like, I love seeing how someone puts a soundtrack together, whether it's musical or whether it's a collection of songs. And then I create soundtracks when I'm writing for stories, and then I'll play them to set a tone, while I'm creating something.
I'm going to throw out something here. My mother was huge in theater, and I was actually a theater major for an entire semester before we won't get into that. But I had some reasons I needed to leave college. But this is the perfect time to say, I guess, because I've been learning Jewish things, that the musical that I have seen the most, and I actually got to see, is Fiddler on the Roof, is what I'm going to say. But I actually got to see, I can't remember his name right now, who played Tevye, Topol, I believe.
Chaim Topol? Yeah.
Yeah. I got to see Chaim Topol play Tevye. And it was so weird. It was like the third time I think I saw it live. And I was in this little balcony area, and I'm sitting with my mom and my sister. And in the scene where he sends his youngest daughter away and is just like, I can't take it. No, you go, I started bawling my eyes out, because of course you do. Yeah. And sitting in front of us, were a bunch of Hasidic Jews wearing the full everything. And they like stood up and embraced me and like hugged me while I was crying. And it was like one of the most beautiful moments ever. My mom was like, oh my God, you're like disrupting these people. I'm like, Mom, they understood why I was upset. It was a beautiful moment to me. It's embarrassing to you, but to me, it was just this like, oh my God, yes, it's so hard, so I'm sorry if like Fiddler on the Roof is a really cliched thing to say, but it was like that to me. It was a moment that was just like, oh.
Yeah, it's like the quintessential Jewish one. I don't think
for a reason. It's a good musical. It's a classic.
It's a classic. It's quintessential. I wouldn't say it's cliche.
Okay,
and
good.
You have a human moment. That's to be celebrated.
Yeah, it was my first experience in like having somebody from a different culture ish point, because it was very, they had the hats and everything going on, which is not normal in Lincoln, Nebraska or Omaha, Nebraska. So it was like that's what you saw.
For sure.
Yeah, but it was this awesome time, and I loved it. And so I love that you guys are into the musicals too, because that was what I was raised like too.
Yeah, I do love a good musical.
Yeah,
even some of the bad ones. You can do.
If you like Little Shop of Horrors, if you do come to Terrificon, often Bill Diamond has a booth there, and he often brings the original Audrey.
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Bill Diamond worked with Jim Henson.
Very cool.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it's really cool when he brings that out. He also had the last like the original ET from the movie.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
cool.
That's pretty
Is he the
awesome.
one that
That'd be cool to see.
Is he the one that walked around with the hand puppet, Audrey, or was that somebody else that was just cosplaying?
His Audrey is big.
Yeah,
Okay, 'cause
I mean, there were different versions in the movie. Some
Yeah.
of them
He has the final form, Audrey. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, because I've seen there's one guy who kind of dresses like Seymour and then has like this, only like this part is the pot for the plant, and then he has a whole Audrey.
Sure.
That's
I
going
don't
on.
think I've attended a con where there wasn't Little Shop cosplay in.
Yeah, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, the music connection there, Levi Stubbs of the Four Tops in the movie version of Little Shops of Horrors was the voice of Audrey too. That's why it's so phenomenal.
Oh.
Thank you for that.
Little fun fact.
Little pop-up video.
Yeah,
Little knowledge nugget, everybody.
There you go.
You're learning more.
Good stuff.
You guys have been very educational tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who knew? Take that, Mrs. Jones from first grade.
So we'll kick it on over to you, Aaron, first. Where do you like people following you on social media?
I'm on Instagram at Aaron Cohen Writes. I'm on Blue Sky at the A Cohen, and those are probably the best two places to find me. And then we got we got the Kickstarter going now. You can find me there too.
Awesome. And what about you, Alex?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and Blue Sky, I believe, at AJ Schumacher Art is the handle. Facebook, I have my personal website, alexschumacherart.com, and the aforementioned Schticks Stones Kickstarter.
Awesome. So I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. Definitely, check out Aaron and Alex. A lot of their information is shown us up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. And also check out our website. We have all that information there. So Carrie, sign us on out.
Hey, everybody, if you want to check out me, go to Carrie Sanders on Facebook, because I have all the other forms of social media, but I don't actually use them at all other than to follow people. So if you want to read my stuff, if you want to see me on different shows, if you want to hear my opinions on things, find me on Facebook, get a hold of me there. That is the easiest way to get in touch with me. And get ready, because this Tuesday, I've got to say, I'm gonna fill in for Drew here. Excuse me. It takes just a second. So coming up this Tuesday, we have artist extraordinaire Tyler Crook, who you might know from Harrow County or some other things, who is also recently putting out his pages to get ready for November's release of Archie in Hell. So, just in case you can't make it, well, you should. But anyway, going on, follow me at GhostbusterMan1984 on Instagram. And wait, Drew took over the whole segment. I don't know. But yeah. I had one last question, because we started it about the herring and then we stopped. Where is the best place for somebody to give you money, Mr. Alex, in order to get a copy of The Effects of Pickled Herring?
As of now, the situation with the book is that I basically have all available copies. So if they want to reach me at one of the social media sites or website listed, I can just deal with them personally.
Okay, awesome. That's all I had.
Awesome. With that, we'll catch you later. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Love ya. Good night.
Thanks so much.